My name is Isabella. If you had told me years ago that love and betrayal could both come from the same man, I would have laughed and walked away. But here I am, telling you my story, a story that almost broke me and rebuilt me at the same time. I was a senior executive at Sterling Heights Global, a company admired for its influence across industries. I had worked tirelessly, climbing every rung of the ladder with sweat, late nights, and sacrifices that most people would never understand. I thought my dedication would protect me, but it turns out nothing could shield me from what was coming. His name was Adrian. He was charming in the way a storm is beautiful. From the moment we met at a corporate retreat in Barcelona, something about him unsettled me. He carried himself with quiet confidence, his eyes sharp, calculating, yet disarming. At first, I told myself to stay away. But fate had its own cruel plans. We started working closely together on a project that could define the future of Sterling Heights. Long nights in glass-walled boardrooms became part of our routine. And in between analyzing data, forecasting risks, and negotiating deals, I saw glimpses of the man behind the suit. Adrian was funny, thoughtful, and he listened to me in ways no one else did. Before I knew it, I was falling for him. What began as stolen glances became private dinners. What began as work discussions became long midnight calls. I let myself believe that he was different. That he saw me, Isabella, not just the executive, not just the woman constantly proving herself in a world that doubted her. But one evening changed everything. We were preparing for a major acquisition of a tech firm in Singapore, a deal that would put Sterling Heights ahead of its fiercest rival, Dominion Corporation. I had confidential files in my office, documents only a handful of people could access. That night, I returned to the office unexpectedly after forgetting my phone. As I opened the door, I froze. There was Adrian, standing by my desk, copying files onto a flash drive. I wanted to believe I was dreaming, that there was some reasonable explanation. But when he turned and met my eyes, his expression wasn't guilt. It was cold calculation, as if he had finally removed a mask he had worn for months. "Isabella," he said softly, "you weren't supposed to see this." My heart raced, torn between rage and heartbreak. Why, Adrian? Was any of it real? The late nights, the promises, the way you said you loved me. For a moment, his gaze flickered, as if he wanted to say yes, as if some part of him still cared. But then he looked away. "This is bigger than us. Dominion offered me everything Sterling never could. Power, freedom, money. You wouldn't understand." I felt like the floor beneath me collapsed. The man I loved wasn't my partner. He was my betrayer. I should have exposed him that night. But love makes fools of us all. I couldn't bring myself to destroy him, not yet. Instead, I started my own quiet investigation. If Adrian thought I was broken, he was wrong. Days turned into weeks. I pretended to forgive, to look past that night. I let him believe I was still his, still blind. All the while, I gathered evidence, emails, secret meetings, coded bank transfers. I traced his every move, my heart aching with every discovery. One evening at a gala in Milan, he whispered into my ear, "One day, we will leave all this behind." His hand lingered on my back, warm and familiar, and for a split second I wanted to believe him again. But I knew better now. The breaking point came when I discovered he had leaked Sterling's confidential blueprints to Dominion. Millions were at stake. Thousands of jobs. And my reputation. I confronted him in private. My voice trembled, but I refused to let him see my weakness. "Adrian, I loved you. I gave you every part of me. And you used it all to tear me apart." For once, his arrogance slipped. "Isabella, I never meant to hurt you. What we had was real. But I couldn't stop. Dominion owns me now. And if you try to expose me, you'll regret it." Tears stung my eyes, but I held my ground. I realized then that the man I fell in love with was long gone, replaced by someone driven by greed and fear. So I made a choice. The next morning, I walked into the boardroom filled with executives. The air was heavy, anticipation thick. Adrian sat across from me, calm, confident, unaware of the storm about to hit him. I laid down the evidence. Every file, every message, every transaction. Gasps filled the room. Adrian's face drained of color. He tried to speak, but the weight of the truth silenced him. Security escorted him out. That was the last time I saw him. But victory felt hollow. Yes, I saved Sterling Heights. Yes, I exposed a traitor. But deep inside, I was left with scars no one could see. The man I loved betrayed me not just as a partner, but as a woman who trusted too deeply. Some nights, I still wonder. Did he ever truly love me, or was I just another deal to him? And yet, through the heartbreak, I found strength. I learned that love can blind us, but betrayal sharpens us. I am no longer the same Isabella who fell for Adrian's charm. I am stronger, wiser, and unafraid to stand alone. This is my story. A love that turned into betrayal. A passion that became a weapon. A heart that was shattered, but not destroyed. So I ask you, my dear viewers, what would you have done in my place? Would you have exposed him, or would you have let love blind you until the very end? If my story moved you, do not forget to like, share and subscribe, because more tales of love, betrayal, and survival are yet to come.